Gentlemen, it's your boy Mark. I'm in the city that never sleeps, New York City, Manhattan. You might wonder why I'm just walking around in here. The reason is because I actually got a last minute invite to the Cameron Hall show, and I said, you know what? There's only going to be so many more of these things that I can attend before my schedule changes again. So I said, let me try and see if I can make it there. So I hustled up. Actually, I had things to do this morning that were more important than making sure that I was going to get there on time. Well, I did want to make sure that I got there on time. I was shoring up some paperwork that was much more important. Much more important than making sure that I got to the show on time. And I finished up the paperwork. It was about 11 o'clock. It was about 11 a.m. And then I said, okay, so what it says on the ticket is that if you get here by 2 o'clock, they said, okay, the priority boarding starts at 1 o'clock. Boarding is when they let you in to the building. I didn't have a priority ticket, so it said the general ticketing opens up at 1:15 and closes at 2 p.m. So I actually got here around, when did I get here? I got here about close to 1:15 when they said the general boarding starts. And I stood in a line that moved a little bit, and they actually were completely full to capacity by 1:45, which happens sometimes, I guess, depending on the popularity of the guest. I think one time I even had a priority ticket, and I was one of the last, 5 people that they let into the building. It really irritates me when this happens, because for me to get out here, I mean, thank goodness I didn't take my car, because when I take my car, it's a lot different, because in my car, I have to drive through all the New York City traffic. Everybody always says that. I gotta drive through the New York City traffic, and then I gotta pay tolls, and then I gotta pay like $50, $60 for a parking spot. So this time I was like, let me save myself the trouble and take the train. Now on one hand, I believe that if I had driven my car, instead of depending on public transportation, I might have gotten to the show on time. But on the other hand, like, it is what it is. No harm, no foul. I came out here. I spent about, it's going to be about $11, going on the train, coming back. The biggest thing that I lost is the amount of hours that it took me to arrive. Your boy doesn't like wasting time. Sure that I'm going in the right direction real quick, and I'll be right back. I am indeed going to the right direction. I don't watch One Piece. I'm not against watching One Piece though. I would definitely watch One Piece, because everyone always keeps recommending it to me. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So yeah, I got stuck outside the line. This happened to me one time back when they used to have long live audiences for Good Morning America. It happened to me once, that was when Bad Boys 3 came out, and the guests were Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. So typically the lines, you stand outside in the lines for like an hour, but in this particular case, because it was so popular, people stood out there probably 2 to 3 hours in advance instead of 1 hour in advance. And I got there at the recommended earliest time that you're supposed to get there, and they already had let everybody in. I can't remember who the guests were for The View. It's an anime show, City. I don't remember who the guests are for The View, who the guests were for The View, but I think it was just the popularity of The View is why I stood in this massive line and didn't get in, and this is the third time. Actually, I think it's been 2 times that I didn't get into Tamarind Hall now that I think about it. But the first time I felt more at fault because I was like, the check-in time, let's say, was about 8, and I might have gotten there. The final check-in time was like 8. I got there like 7:50 or something like that. This time around, I got to the line at about 1:15 when they said the check-in starts, which I know that getting there even earlier than the check-in time is important, especially if you don't get a priority ticket. But I still thought that I was gonna get in. I'm like, what are we, a Tuesday? I'm like, don't people have work and different things to do? Like, come on now. But I suppose it's not the worst thing in the world that I got up. I actually finished the paperwork that I was talking about for work. I finished it faster than I would have because I was like, I gotta finish the paperwork before I leave. That is my priority, not the show. I always love going on the Tamarind Hall show, believe it or not. With the exception of the Nick Cannon show when it was on. Nick Cannon show was my favorite. And Tamarind Hall is my second favorite. And it's not even because of the show, it's just because of her personality, her genuine energy. I said that I want to get on that show. I sent an email about trying to get on that show. But you know what? Maybe I have to, I wrote it myself. Maybe I have to look into getting somebody who can write it for me better, because I've looked at some of these guests on this show, and she doesn't always just get a Morris Chestnut or a Queen Latifah or like a Brad Pitt or like Jennifer Aniston. Like, she's not somebody who only gets high profile guests. She gets a lot of run-of-the-mill marks, or, you know, people that are average Joes or Janes, you know. So that's what I really like. And she's so invested in each of the shows. She was actually on a show, actually was at a show that she recorded in the middle of January, and I was one of the first people in her new studio. It was the first day that she was in her new studio last month. And so I didn't even know that, but I went over there. I was like, oh, new studio, that's interesting. And the show was about kids with talent. And some of the kids, you know, like, they got on there and they're just like, my name is so-and-so and I do this and this. Let me show you. Like, there's this kid that did drum corps and like a bunch of different things, and he was just confident as ever. She was like, do you get nervous? He's like, no. There was another kid that I think she baked cakes, and she was good at baking the cakes, but she was not good with public speaking. Like, she was really nervous. I can't with traffic cops say, listen, I know a job is a job, and everybody has to make an honest living. But if I knew one of my friends was a traffic cop, I would rather you be a standard NYPD, to be honest with you, versus being it's an ice cream shop. I've been to that ice cream shop before. It's not sketchy at all. New York City is, honestly, New York City, Manhattan is safer to me than being in any of the boroughs. Like, we see sensationalized news about, oh, this person got shot in Manhattan and this person got jumped or this person was stabbed up or whatever. But there's huge, heavy police presence in these areas. There's cameras everywhere. Like, anything can happen anywhere. But if you think of the most central city part of your state, you know, like the tourist part where everybody goes, that's the least likely thing where anything's going to happen. Now, if you are in one of the boroughs, and for those of you who don't know what the boroughs are, like Queens, the Bronx, Brooklyn, those areas, ain't nobody really protecting you there. You're just out on your own, and you call the police for an incident, and you pray that they come there before the incident is resolved, if you know what I'm saying. Whereas out here, something was happening. I mean, things can happen quick regardless, but in the event that something was happening, I know that if I yelled for the police, like, they would be here 10 minutes less. They're all over the place. They have the cars parked everywhere. Everything. I know this is like a New York tangent, but I feel way safer walking through Manhattan than I do anywhere else. Except for if it was some time of high traffic, like if it was a holiday. And the main reason I wouldn't feel safe is not because it's sketchy, it's just because I don't like being around significant amounts of people, because I'm like in a crowd, anything can happen. Someone could just walk up to you with a knife, stab you up or something, and you don't even see it coming because you're just within the crowd. Someone could bump you and take something out of your pocket. I will say, they gave me a priority ticket to a future show. I'm going to think long and hard about whether I go to that show or not. Because the Sherri Shepherd show, even though I like the Sherri Shepherd show a little bit less than Tamron Hall, to where we got to go. Where the Survivor event is. I'm actually going to see Survivor event. One Survivor event is going to be the Gwendolyn Bryce one that we always have. I know that area very, very well. I love that. Although they always have so many people in the venue that you always see me standing outside of the venue. I'm going is like an hour and a half, I would say, or more away from where I'm trying to get to. I'm gonna walk. I still remember when I did my interview with Sam. I want to say that the train station that I got off of was probably about 50 minutes away from where we did the recording. So I got off at the train station, and then I walked for 50 minutes. Then when we were leaving, she was just like, "Where did you park your car?" Or she said, not "Where did you park your car?" She was like, "What train are you getting on to get out of here?" And I was like, "I don't actually know the train that I'm getting on. I just know that I had to get to the Long Island Railroad." To wherever I was going was a very regular thing to do, but for a New Yorker, for a typical New Yorker, if the walk is more than maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most, they are definitely going to be hopping on that subway. So because I was not hopping on the subway, like I said, she looked at me like I had two heads. And then from there, she was like, no. I'm going to show you at least part of the way. She's like, she said, "I'm going in the direction of Penn Station on the subway. So I'm going to get you to Penn Station. And then from there, you can find your own way to get to where you need to go." So she actually directed me to the subway and got on the subway with me. And then from there, when I got to Penn Station, she's like, "All right, here's where you need to be. And I'm continuing on my way to where I need to be. And I'll see you later." And that's from where I thought she was solid. Because I'm like, how many people can offer to do that? Like, none. Not that I ever have interviewed anyone else in person, but even if I had, I already know the answer for most people would be no. And I understand that. You know, protect yourself, protect your peace. You know? You don't know who I am. Even though I know who I am. To one of those people, I mean, I learned my lesson. You gotta have some references when you trust people, because somebody who presents as ordinary AF could be one of the most sketch people that you've ever met, and you don't find out till your body is in the trunk. Excuse my morbidity, but real things happen in real life. Okay, I am on block 15. What time did I leave there? Oh, my arms hurt because I was heavy in the gym this morning.
$5 some change, buy me something to eat, please. I'm hungry.
No, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That's the thing, man. When you live here, somebody is always asking you for something to eat. When my friends come and they visit me, they look at me like I'm a jerk. I'm not a jerk for real. Like I am very generous, but if you walk around the city of New York, hold on, want to check the Google building? Like, while I'm here, I might as well give you the tour. I'm pretty sure that's the Google headquarters, if I'm not mistaken. It's very, you know, they probably don't even own the building. That's the funny thing. Because, ooh, happy hour. Happy hour is when? 11:30 to 7 p.m. Yeah, no thanks. Not today. Not today. Oh, can I plug my phone in here? If I can. Y'all might get me out here just a little bit longer because I'm like rushing because my phone is dying. If I can charge it up. Hi, chocolate.
Like, did your wires somehow?
Apologies, I'm just trying to see. I had plans to charge this phone up in the building, but because we just went from 13% to 7%. That's crazy. Crazy. Ow! Alright, we in business a little bit. I'm not gonna be moving for a little bit, but we're in business a little bit. I wanna see if I can charge this up. Let's see how fast it's charging. An hour and 35 minutes. Okay, so I'm not standing here for an hour and 35 minutes. I might stand here for 10. Matter of fact, I might turn this off because it's gonna take much longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump off and then let this charge up to hopefully at least 20-25%. Then I might turn it on when I'm a little bit closer to getting back to Penn Station. So please make sure, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Oh, it's okay. Notified when I drop something. This is not somebody from here. She sounded like she's from Sweden. Latest.